Hey guys, welcome back to another video review. We have a Mythic Legions action figure today for review, and this time we have Scaphoid. On the back of the package we have some info on the Mythic Legion series, and on the side we have a short story on Scaphoid himself, so let's check them out. One thing that's great about 4 Horsemen is that their packages are easy to take apart or put back together for storage. Here we have the undead skeleton mage, Scaphoid. Once a mage who had died in combat, now brought back from the dead as a cursed skeleton. Most reanimated mages explode in combat, unable to control their power, but Scaphoid is one of the few who mastered his new unstable power. So let's check out some detail. Scaphoid's green skull is sculpted very nicely, with lots of small details like dents and cracks. And on the side we can see more cracks wrapping around the skull. The chest is a dark purple robe, a very nice contrast to the bright green bones. The shoulders have a worn out bronze look to them. The edges are grimed with the black corroded effect. The bright green arm bones have a few small details in the sculpt, with a rough texture. Like all other Mythic Legion figures, we have 3 peg holes in the back that look pretty bad. In this case, we will be covering them up with shoulder armor accessories later. Scaphoid has orcish style gauntlets. They look really old and worn out with the combination of that bronze and black paint. The front of Scaphoid's tabard slowly changes color, from a dark purple to green. It's a cool effect and we'll see that being used on the weapons later on. On the side we have some of that heavy plated skirt armor. More grime covers all over with some nice silver details up on the belt. Here on the leg we can see more of that rough texture on the bone, along with the last of that bright green color. The legs have an orcish armor sculpting that's heavily weathered with black grime paint. And lastly, we have the boots. We can see scratch and dented details finished with more of that black grime. So let's see the articulation. We have a ball jointed head. His shoulder opens and rotates. Bending and rotating elbow. We have a forearm that rotates. A rotating wrist that's blocked by the bulky armor and bends slightly up and down. A ball-jointed waist. We have really good thigh articulation. A bend at the knee with rotation that's blocked by the armor. And finally, rotating and bending feet. Now let's check out the accessories. Scaphoid comes with an extra articulated skull in the same color. His jaw opens and closes. You can easily pop out the skull and replace it with the extra articulated version. He comes with a pair of shoulder armor. It's in the same bronze and black paint scheme. To install the shoulders, all you need to do is match the peg holes in the back and press into it. We have a big purple shield with a peg hole on the back. You attach the arm clip into it. You can clip the shield into the wrist easily. It stays on firmly in place without needing to adjust anything. We get a rubbery brown belt, and you can attach a weapon to it. And we have a small dagger that fades into that green. And lastly, we have a mace that fades into the green color. It's made of a hard plastic. The top can come off, and you can socket in another top, but this figure doesn't come with any extra. I'm very happy with this figure. Scaphoid was one of my most wanted skeletons, and finally getting him felt awesome. The paint colors they use for him really make him pop out. The bronze and black grime all over the armor really makes him feel dirty. And the bright green and purple remind me of poison and corruption. The battle-mage aspect of the character is really cool. Mythic Legions doesn't have a lot of mage-type characters, so having an undead one is even better. I only wish he had a staff instead of a mace. The sculpting, as always from 4 Horsemen, is incredible. We get a ton of detail, and the articulation, while it could be better, is acceptable enough for the level of bulkiness that the armor on these figures tend to have. These figures are really rare and hard to acquire. 4 Horsemen Studios is on the rise and reissues are happening, so keep an eye out if you want some of the classic figures. Personally, I'm really happy with the quality of the figures and usually only have tiny things to nitpick about. Alright guys, that'll do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the review and stay tuned for more reviews coming your way.